In the recent time, the UK government has made a major increase in their financial maintenance criteria for international applicants coming to study in the UK effect from January 2nd, 2025. Hello everyone, welcome back to Border Mates with Tope. Whether you are planning on traveling to the UK for study, work, or exploring the UK in 2025, understanding the visa fund requirement is a critical part of the visa process for you in 2025. Today, we will break down everything you need to know about the UK visa fund requirement to make your journey as smooth as possible. Let's dive in. Have you ever wondered or imagined, why does the UK government, why do they care about my finances? Why do they care about how much I have to support myself while I'm away on vacation to the UK? This is an interesting question. Why does the government care about how much I have to support myself? Some people will say, oh, I think I have sufficient money to support myself while I'm away. After all, I've been saving over time, and I believe that I should be able to support myself while I'm away on this trip to the UK. So if you want to know more about this, stay tuned for more information on this video. Your fund requirement ensures you can support yourself without relying on public funds while you are away in the UK on your trip or studying. This means having enough to cover your accommodation, food, transportation, and other expenses while you are away in the UK. For students, it is about showing that you can sustain yourself during your studies. For visitors or work visa holders, it is about proving that you can sustain yourself financially during your stay in the UK. Now, let's talk about general fund requirement for different visas to the UK. Now, first thing first, for student visas, you need to show that you have enough to cover your tuition and living expenses for the first 9 months if you are going for a master's program to the UK. With effect from January 2nd, you will need at least 1,334 per month as your living expenses for international students and 1,023 as your living expenses per month as an international student if you are living outside London as an international student. This sums up to be £12,006 if you are going to be studying in London and 11,307 as someone who is going to be studying outside London for international student for the period of 9 months if you are going for a master's program in the UK. Now, to prove that you have met with this minimum threshold for the UK government, you need to provide a bank statement. If you are going to be financing yourself personally, you have to provide a bank statement, and these funds has to be in that account for 28 days or over 28 days before you can provide this bank statement. You also need to provide, if you are not going to be sponsoring yourself, a letter from the sponsor and the sponsor's bank statement showing that they have sufficient funds to finance you during the course of your program. If you are going to be taking a student loan from your home country to finance yourself during the course of your program, you need to provide a letter from the bank showing that the bank is going to be financing you and they have agreed to give you a student loan for the course of your program during your stay in the United Kingdom. Let's talk about proof of funds for visitor visa to the UK. You have to have enough to cover for your trip, your flight accommodation, your hotel, and your daily expenses while you are away in the UK. These funds has to be shown in your account. Now, a typical example for a proof of funds as someone that is coming for other countries other than an EU country, you need to be able to demonstrate that you have at least 100 to 200 pounds in your account for your daily expenses while you are away to the UK. This is very important to enable your application to scale through when you submit your visa application to the UK via for a review. Number 3, if you are coming to the UK via a work visa route, usually you are required to have £1,270 for 28 consecutive days before uploading your bank statement along with your certificate of sponsorship to the portal for the UK VI to give a decision to your application. Now, if your employer is sponsoring you, your employer is going to include on your employment letter that they are going to be sponsoring you while you are coming to the UK to work for them. This is an exemption. If the employer has stated on your employment letter that they are going to be sponsoring you, you may not need to prove to the UKVI that you have £1,270 for your expenses for the first month as a living expenses while you are going to the UK. It's important for you to understand that your funds need to be in your account for at least 28 days if you are going to UK for either study route or work route. It is important you understand that these funds need to be there for at least 28 days before getting your bank statement. If your funds that you want to use as a proof of funds to show to the UKVI or the embassy that you have sufficient funds in your account, if the money is not in the currency of the country you are applying for example, you are coming from Nigeria and the currency you have in your account is in dollars or pounds, you have to use the currency converter, which is used for the purpose of exchange, to ensure that the money you have in your account is sufficient enough. Example of the converter that they use for the UK is Oanda. So you have to go to Oanda and ensure that you convert the currency you have. If they are foreign currency, they are supposed to meet with the current currency that is required on the UKVI portal. The proof of funds is in a different currency. You have to go to the website of Oanda and exchange the currency you have, the foreign currency you have in your account, to ensure that they meet with the minimum requirement of the cost involved for the purpose of your study or work before submitting your bank statement. Secondly, you have to ensure that the bank statement you are going to submit is authentic and original from the bank. The date of your financial statement must be at least 31 days from the day of your submission to the UKVI. That means the bank statement you are going to be submitting must be valid for at least the last 31 days before you submit that statement to the UKVI for the purpose of study, work, or visit to the UK. These are common mistakes for you to avoid while you are applying to the UK. Firstly, incorrect bank statement, insufficient funds, and waiting for too long before preparing your bank statement. You have to cross-check your bank statement. You have to ensure that you have sufficient funds. You have to ensure that your bank statement is authentic. Authentic before submitting your application to the UKVI. If you like this video, like, share, and comment for more videos on your migration pathway for study, visit, and tourism. For more informative videos like this, like, share, and comment for your travel plans to any part of the world on Border Mates with Tokpe. Thank you.